Hey guys, it's Anna from Uzliki and I am about to start a new project today. It's going to be a bigger version of that Solomon bar pattern that you've seen me do over here. So it's actually going to be a really simple yet quite big project for complete beginners as well. I'll be using these two colors and types of cord. This one is a 5mm 3-ply or 3-strand cord in this reddish color called Sunset. And then this one is just a simple single strand or single twist cord in this color Sand, I believe it's called. I'll be putting the cords on this piece of driftwood with this really cool coloring on it. It's about 90 centimeters long, so like I said, pretty big project. And at the end, I'll be using my hot glue gun, but we'll get to that later. All right, I'm all set and ready to start. I've actually already cut my first piece of the sunset cord, and let me show you how I'm going to attach it to the driftwood piece. I don't want to use the typical lark's head knot, just to spice it up a little bit, so I'm going to use the bull hitch knot instead. So you start the same as with the lark's head knot, so fold your cord in the middle, get it over your piece of wood, then through this loop, you pull the two cords through, but just before you tighten it, what you want to do is with this loop, you want to twist it one more time and then pull these two cords through the center again, and only then you tighten it. So I've used that bull hitch on all of my cords, which I don't think you can really see it on camera. And to be honest, I think also because it's the 3-ply cord, the cross in the front is not really that visible, but that's okay. It's still something new that I got to try. So I've put up 12 sections where in each section there are 3 cords. So 3 cords in each section. And now we are going to move on to the second part of this project. One more thing I wanted to mention, all of the cords that I've put up are the same length, more or less, let's say. I think in the end, I want different lengths for like the different sections, but I don't know yet which ones are going to be the long ones, which ones are going to be short. So just to make it easy for myself, I made all of them like the longest length that I want to have, and I'll decide only once the second part is done. So for that second part, I'm adding that beige color and making this Solomon bar pattern out of it, which is basically just square knots all the way down. So let me show you how exactly I'm doing that. So I've got a piece of the beige cord. I find the middle, which I put behind all of the 3 cords, and then I just pretend that this cord is hanging from here and I just make a square knot. So the left side over all the cords in the middle, then the right side over that behind all of the cords in the middle and out through the loop. And now it's important that you tighten it in a way that it really tightens at the top here. Like this. And then I make the other side of the square knot. And now I just keep rotating the sides and adding more square knots down here to shape a bar like this. One thing that's important to mention that I'm doing is making sure that the cords in the middle, these reddish cords, are visible. And I do that by kind of disbalancing the cords, or I don't know how do you call it, but you see how I'm pulling them definitely not in a straight line, but rotating like this. And then for the other side, I'll do the opposite movement. So something like this. This is just to create that little triangular section in here through which you can see the cords in the middle. And the other thing that I'm paying attention to is trying to make them as symmetrical as possible, although I think I can definitely improve on that one, but I'm trying my best to make them look the same, like be the same size and angle on these little triangles. And so now I'll work on all of the different sections up to a similar or down to a similar length. And then later I'll decide which are the lengths that are gonna be the longest, which are the sections that are gonna be a little bit shorter, and then just add or remove some of the square knots as I will need. So I'm done with all the knots and I'm happy with the different levels, I think. So next step, I'm going to fix these beige cords in the back here, and I'll show you how I'm gonna do that. So you're looking at the back of the work. The first thing I'm gonna do is just make a simple knot out of the two cords in here, not taking the middle cords into it, so that it's kind of more in the center, whereas before it was more to the sides. And then I'm going to take my scissors and I'll chop them off maybe here. And the last step is to take my hot glue gun and I'll just glue them to the top here, both the top one and the bottom one up here. If you don't have a glue gun, what you could do is try to kind of weave the ends underneath these sections right here, but I did make the knots pretty tight, so I don't think that it would be that easy for me to do that. So all of the beige cords are trimmed and cleaned up in the back. And now I am going to start trimming the middle cords, the sunset colored cords. I'm gonna chop off maybe like at 20 centimeters. That's how long I will leave the fringe kind of thing in there. And then I'll show you what I'm gonna do next. So I've got it all trimmed. And what I'm going to do now is take each of these little cords, the 3-ply cords, and I'm going to unravel them. So I'm not going to be brushing out the entire fringe. I'll just take, at the very top, I'll take out, let me take you closer. So here I'm taking out one of the 3 strands in the cord. I pull it out and then I do the same thing with the other one. And like this, I'm going to unravel all of these cords in the fringe. Once I'm done unraveling all of the cords, this is what the fringe looks like. And voila, here is the entire piece. Like I said in the very beginning, this was something super simple. It took me maybe 5 hours to complete the entire thing from, the very beginning, cutting the cords all the way to the fringe, which 5 hours, I mean, yes, it is 5 hours, but considering how big the final piece is, 5 hours is next to nothing. So even if you are a complete beginner, this is a really good one to try because it is so simple and you will have a big final product to show for it. As always, all of the measurements and lengths are down in the description. Also, I've started adding the links to all of the products that I'm using and also the tools, so go check it out. And if you've liked it, leave a comment down below. I'll be happy to take a look at them. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.